Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over the good, the bad of WWE 2K23. Now if you haven't already, the first link down below is a link to my early release live stream. I'm going to get full access on the game pretty much a day early for most of my viewers. So if you click that link down below, go to the stream, make sure you set your notification, subscribe bell, do all that. Let's get into the video. So we'll start off with the good, and I was one of the guys originally who gave a lot of crap to this game. We'll get to the bad. There's still a fair few bad points, but I think there's a lot more good points, so I'm really positive for this game. I'm actually looking forward to playing this game, which is weird for me. Usually, I enjoy making videos, I enjoy making content on the wrestling games because I really enjoy wrestling. I'm going to WrestleMania this year for the first time, but the games have been very lackluster. But I love playing 2K14, man. I play the shit out of that game to this day. So, anyway. Start off with the good, the stuff that was revealed, I guess, about a day ago now. My Rise. That looks like a big improvement from last year. Not only are the creator wrestlers looking very real, very realistic and awesome. Just go back to 2K20. Look how bad that was. Even last year wasn't so good either, 2K22. Creator wrestlers look great. And the two main stories look pretty cool. You have the legend mode, I think it's called legendary mode. I can't remember exactly what it was called, which is you're female and you are a second generation wrestler. It starts off with your, mother back in the Ruthless Aggression era. You can see Stone Cold, Triple H, all these older guys, older stuff in the shots, which was really cool to see. And yeah, that's the start of that. And I guess, you might even be sort of like a Charlotte Flair wannabe. The next one is The Lock, and you're an indie sensation that comes to the main roster, and seemingly Vinnie Mac has ruined I know he's not in the game, but he's, brought your self-esteem right down by giving you a crappy gimmick. Now, I've heard there is a way to not, to transfer away from that gimmick, but you play as an indie star. Now, it's unsure at this point if there still is a story with a clear end goal, which is what I hope for, although it looks similar after that initial part to My Rise last year, which I personally didn't enjoy. It really felt like a 12-year-old was playing some WWE 12, create a story, and just writing all these crappy stories, throwing it in, you're downloading them off community creations. That's what it felt like. And I like playing it with an end goal. I don't just want to play. And I know there's a lot of replayability there because there was a lot to get through, which is great. But they weren't quality. So that's a sort of negative on My Rise last year and potentially a negative this year. But from what we've seen and what we know, My Rise looks great. And I will be making videos on that just after my stream, which will probably go for a good 4 hours or so, maybe longer. Depends how we do. Anyway, so My Rise looks great. That's a great plus. My GM, again, added a lot to it. Looks great. We got roster shakeups, unlimited seasons, Slammies, Hall of Fame, adding a whole bunch of championship titles, whole bunch of new matches, and also a whole bunch of new general managers, which is cool. And WCW is in the game, which is cool. If you want to run back the Monday Night Wars, you can, which is pretty cool. So that's a big plus. Back to My Rise real quickly. Apparently there are some match types that are only going to be in My Rise, which is weird. Maybe you unlock them after you play them. We don't know that yet. That's just what I've heard. My Factions. Online My Factions. I might be getting into My Factions this year. I don't know. I might be spending big money on these freaking cards. These My Factions cards. And we've heard, here's a little negative as well, but exclusive My Factions attires and superstars will not be unlockable again this year, which is unfortunate because that was probably the only reason people would have been playing My Rise last year, was to see and get these new guys. You have to wonder, with them doing this again, are people like What's the Status going to do the same thing? And I think he did it on PC, extract those files and use them in Create a Wrestler and then upload them to Community Creations. And create attires for people that are exclusive to My Factions. And with Community Creations being cross-platform still, I believe, we're theoretically still going to see all these guys. So it's strange that they're not making them unlockable. Personally, I think no, there shouldn't be a way just to unlock them all. You should have to, yes, go down that route of having to grind or buy the VC to open these packs, but you get something for it. Something you can use in exhibition, parts from their attires that you can use on your creator wrestler that you can import into MyRise and also export from MyRise. So that's just I disagree with that. I don't really see a point for it. It does suck about these microtransactions, but it's not game breaking. So look, we'll see how that goes. My Factions though looks like a big update with online mode being something there, which is cool. However, you do have to question with online mode, is online going to be any better? We don't know. Probably not, because we haven't heard that. Now, here is onto the ray tracing. We've confirmed this, guys. It isn't ray tracing. However, it looks incredible. If I get enough time and remember, on screen you should see Cody Rhodes and see that little sort of weird glitching on the entrance. It's not ray tracing. Ray tracing wouldn't do that. However, it does look great. It's just reflections. Reflections have been in games for a very long time. It isn't ray tracing, but it still does look really good and makes it look more realistic. Now, we're fairly sure these are only on next gen, so if you've got a good enough PC, PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, I'm guessing, you'll be able to get these reflections. If you're on PS4, Xbox One, you won't. Even PS4 Pro and Xbox One X won't get these, I guess, a little bit slightly better upgrades. But this is something that I think is right. I think they need to not hold back the game for the old generations. They did that last year, evidently, because the games looked identical. So this is going to be something, and I wonder what else we're going to see. I am certain we haven't seen Xbox One or PS4 gameplay yet. We probably should have, which is unfortunate, but again, it's very clear, especially now with the console shortage being over, that this is the future. Yes, they're expensive, but technology is expensive, man. Hey, I wish they showed the old gen stuff, but we're going to have to find out for ourselves on the stream. I'll be playing it on Xbox One for a little bit after release. On Xbox Series X first, and then we'll play a little bit on Xbox One just to see what it's like, so you guys can see if you don't have your hands on next gen hardware yet. And then that brings us on to graphics in general. It looks amazing. Last year was a big improvement, obviously, and it makes you wonder if they could push that out on PS4 and Xbox One just a year ago. What were we missing out on from 2K15 all the way to 2K22, man? It sucks. I know graphics have gotten better over those years, but look at NBA 2K15 to WWE 2K15 and go further. The graphics seemingly got worse and worse and worse. 2K20 was obviously atrocious. But the graphics, man, big improvement. Next one, Bray Wyatt is in the game. He is a hot act. You can't deny it. Yes, these days it seems, I guess maybe with questionable Vince McMahon booking, he's not looking, I guess, as hot as he was. But man, he came back. He was hot as everything. He's in the game. Obviously, there's a couple negatives, but we'll get to those. Next, War Games. That's great. I'm glad that they have sort of shied away from that a little bit more now that they've actually revealed some other things, because at first it was just like War Games in our face. Great, but we've been asking for that for years. So, yeah, but seriously, War Games in the game is great. From the gameplay I've seen, it does look like the AI sort of tend to stick in that left side ring, which could be annoying, the AI not being too smart, but we have seen there is AI intelligence as well. There's another positive. You can bump that up, it looks like, or lower it down, depending on what you want to do. So that's great. So hopefully if you bump that up a bit, maybe there's a ring awareness setting, and maybe they'll come into the other ring and they'll use that whole playing field. Next is kind of updated arenas. We've got the new NXT arena. We've got, obviously, the new Raw, new SmackDown. We've got Survivor Series War Games, which was a shocker. I guess they really want to squeeze that in just before release because they're bringing out War Games, and I think they were working on War Games for ages. I don't think main roster was like, yeah, we're doing War Games, and 2K went, oh, shit. They were working on it for ages, and it was like, wow, that's a cool coincidence. Let's check in the arena as well, because they come on, man, you got to do that. I'm keen to see if they put WrestleMania 39 in. I doubt they will. Post-launch DLC. I mean, they put NXT 2.0 in. That one year they put Great Balls of Fire in. You never know. I think with the game releasing like a couple weeks before Mania now, they should do this every year. If this is when they're going to release the game every year, they really should be putting the new WrestleMania arena in. It didn't last year, so we'll wait and see on that. But yeah, the updated arenas look great. Another one is core stars look amazing, and they're very updated. Cody Rhodes, for example, and I know he's been talked about and shown so much, and looks probably the best out of anyone because it's Cody Rhodes. I guess their hottest guy right now. I don't think Sammy has that star power anymore. He had it for a bit, and he's still very hot, but Cody is just that tiny bit hotter, and he has been for the last year. So, Cody, he has 2 entrances, bro. He has the Cody Vader entrance. What? They have shocked me with all the info they've put out in the last couple of weeks. They've shocked me. You can go back on my videos. I was talking mad shit on this game, man, because they hadn't even revealed it 6 weeks or 7 weeks before release. They hadn't revealed the game, and I was honestly thinking there's no way. But somehow, with what we've seen recently, they've pulled it off. So good on them. Cody and I guess other core stars look great. I saw a Triple H entrance today. What the fuck? And if I might not be able to cut in everything that I'm talking about, so just Google it, YouTube it, it'll be there. The last positive I have is gameplay. From what we've seen, it looks a lot better, even from last year. It's probably the gameplay. The game probably plays the same, except for the new pinning system, which I'm not sure about yet. We'll have to test it out. I really did like last year's. A lot of people didn't, though. But moves. When moves are hit, they feel like they frickin' impact. They look like they impact. The screen shakes. I don't think it did it in 2K22, and if it did, it wasn't as much as 2K23 looks like, man, because back, the older games, the THQ games, they looked fucking awesome. Apologies for my language, but when you hit a move, the whole ring shook. The camera maybe shook a bit, especially with finishes. I don't think the ring shakes as much now because that's not realistic, but the camera does, and you go, whoa, that's a big move, So that really adds a lot, and I think that's something that's been mentioned a lot throughout the years. Again, listening to the fans is something they've done over these last 2 games, and I don't understand how they did it. So now we're going to go to the bad, and don't get me wrong, there's not as many bad things, but they are pretty bad things. Firstly, terrible marketing. I know it's a week before release, and you've got me saying all these nice things, but you can't wait until a week before release to reveal all this good info, even if it's as positive as it has been. A week. Okay, and some of you guys say, they want to keep it a surprise. That's not how games work. So, I don't know why, okay? Because if they market this shit 2 months ago, 3 months ago, all this stuff, bro, we would have had, you'd be getting more pre-orders, 100%. To be frank, probably a few weeks ago I would have said I wouldn't be pre-ordering this game if I didn't enjoy making videos. Now, yes, I would be. But you got to think of these other people that aren't just going to pre-order something with a week's notice. People got to save up, man. So, yeah, the marketing is really bad. But, again, the game looks great. Next one is half-assed stars. So, Sami Zayn, for example. Why would you bother putting him with the new shirt? He brought that out a month ago, a month and a half ago. And I know it's so easy to make a shirt, I know. But if you're not going to bother, you're not going to put the effort in to update his the rest of his attire and his entrance theme and Titantrons, don't bother. It's a song, for God's sake. It's a song. Okay? I don't know if the song's still in the game, but if it is, why didn't you change it? Why can't you just put a song in? And the Titantrons, again, they're just videos. Okay? They're not animations that you have to make. I would have been more happy if you didn't bother putting that shirt in, because putting that shirt in really pisses me off. Just to be honest. The other one's a Dominic Mysterio. Again, changed some colours on his attire and he looks like the Judgment Day. I mean, how long? How long has he been in the Judgment Day for? Since October? But you'll put Sami Zayn's shirt in a month and a half's notice. And update his render. I think updating his render was one of the dumbest things you could have done. Putting the shirt in the game, that's fine. Not on his default attire, though. alternate attire, or you just leave it in the creations and you can chuck it on yourself. Because updating that render gives people that they're falsely thinking it's something that it's not. Okay, it's old Sami Zayn with a new shirt. I can't stress that enough. The next one I think will definitely be controversial. Roman Reigns' entrance. Again, half-assed. Don't get me wrong. A lot of us didn't think the Bloodline entrance would be in. We were proven wrong. But it's half-assed. Okay, the Usos are wearing a Raw and a SmackDown title each. Why? That makes no sense whatsoever. You could just put the SmackDown titles on them, and I'd be more happy. But no, you got to put one on each. I don't understand that. Again, they've been walking around with 2 belts for the last year, as has Roman. No Solo, that's fine though. I mean, he's been there since October, but that's fine. They've probably been working on that animation for a while, unfortunately. And the pyro. Big complaint last year was Roman's pyro wasn't right. He is the biggest star of our generation. He's undeniably the greatest world champion in WWE history. Okay? You got to get his entrance right, because his entrance is one of the things that people sit down and watch and are mesmerized by just because of how fucking cool it is. Getting it wrong? This is one of those things, man. They left it until last minute to show us because they didn't want us to see. Okay? A lot of people are saying it looks good. It looks good. Okay? Fix up the Usos tag belts and the pyro and you've got something awesome on your hands. It looks good. Again, and when he gets in the ring, he still has the WWE title around his waist. He holds both those suckers up because he's the double champ. Okay? On the entranceway. Yeah, that's right. That's what I mean about half-assed stars. It's the little things that they need to get right that they seemingly aren't. But again, the game looks great. Universe mode. No improvements whatsoever, so we have seen so far. I've never liked Universe mode. Never. And this is probably why. They never change it. They never update it. They added a thing last year, which I'd never seen anyone use, like a play as this superstar mode. But you've still got all the other crap in there. All the other stars matches that you couldn't care less about. If I'm playing as a male superstar, there are some things I'm going to care about, like a WWE title scene. Or this title scene, whatever title I'm going after. But tell me why I'm going to care about the tag division if I'm a single star. Tell me I'm going to care about the female division, and vice versa. If I'm playing as a female superstar, why do I care about the men's division? They half-assed that one, and it doesn't look like they've even updated it or made any improvements to Universe this year. Which sucks, because I think a Universe mode with my GM features, with a draft system, would be incredible, and a trading system would be incredible. That's all you have to do. Mix those modes together, and you've got something special on your hands. And lastly, Bray Wyatt came back in October. And he's not coming out in this game until July. I guarantee you there's no new face scans on him. And there's no Fiend, which they could easily throw in at release. I feel like leaving it till July is a dumb decision. Because most people ain't going to be playing the game by then anyway. You know, we'll all buy the deluxe edition now with the season pass. We'll all buy the season pass, you know, when the first pack comes out in a month. But then what? You know, the hype's gone. Bray Wyatt's in the game. I'll play him for 1 or 2 matches and then I'll freaking close the game and won't open it again. Because by then, you know, unless there's a lot of replayability in the game, most content creators haven't really done much. You've got the Vibe guys doing the typical real big videos, but what else? What else, man? No one's playing the game anymore at that point, bro. Like, consistently, no. Bray Wyatt has to come out in that first pack. I'm sorry. And that, again, it's a small thing. He's in the game, that's great, but I just feel like he's not going to be as updated. His entrance, maybe that's what they're working on, might be awesome, because his entrance is mesmerizing. But if you can throw Sami Zayn's shirt in a week, you can put Bray Wyatt in from October to mid-April. You've got the time to do that. That's just my thoughts. He should have been a pre-order bonus, honestly. You know, Bad Bunny. I don't care. Some people might. I'm going to close off the video there, guys. Again, I'm excited. I am. I'm excited for the game. I really want to play it. Maybe I'm going to change a couple of my opinions after playing it. I'm excited for the stream. I love streaming that shit. I've streamed it for 5.5 years on release for you guys because I really enjoy doing this stuff. Anyway, again, I'm going to end off the video. Make sure you click that link. I love you guys, man. Appreciate you all for coming out. I'll see you guys all later.